Hello, welcome to episode 2.
Here's our blanket, excellent.
Asymmetrical twin. Dropping and sinking up.
Notice how
So just notice joining us for the second episode of next week. Namaste. Hello and welcome to episode 68 of Namaste Yoga. We're continuing our series of classes on the chakras and their archetypes, and this week we're working with the 5th chakra, the throat chakra, and the archetype of the great communicator or the orator. So today you'll need a few props to get you going. You might need a blanket or something to sit on, a meditation cushion or something, just to prop your hips up so that it's easier for you to sit. As we move from the more embodied chakras like the root chakra, the sacral chakra and the solar plexus and the heart chakra, now we're moving up to the upper 3 chakras, and it's less physical and more ethereal. So now we're moving into the throat and the head and the crown, and so we'll be doing more sitting over the next few weeks. Also, you'll need some blocks, and we're going to start resting over these blocks in a supported fish pose. So if you don't have these blocks, you could roll up some blankets or get a bolster to lie under. And let me just show you how you're going to be resting on the blocks to start. So you'll lie so that the block is about in the middle of your shoulder blades, the lower block. And then, so the upper block is supporting your head, and then bringing your arms out to the side. So you're getting a nice chest opening here to begin, and preparing your body for fish pose, which we'll be working with a little bit later. And as you rest in this position, I'm going to play the chakra chimes for you. Actually, first I'll start talking about, and then I'll be playing some chakra chimes, because as much as this chakra is about communicating, a really great part of communication is listening. And so we'll be doing a lot of sounding today, combined with a lot of listening. So go ahead and rest back on your blocks or your bolster, or rolled up blankets if you don't have either of those. So some of the great communicators in our culture that are known as great orators and great communicators and stand for this archetype of the throat chakra are Martin Luther King, Winston Churchill, Maya Angelou, Toni Morrison, Mother Theresa, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Sojourner Truth. When I asked my friends on Facebook to tell me who they liked as an orator, one of the best responses I got was Lucy from Peanuts. I thought that was such a great response. So she's got a good mouth on her. So the throat chakra is the center of self-expression, creativity, truth, communication, integrity, willpower, and creativity. So here we're talking about our expressing ourselves, and this can take many forms, but it's always and ultimately an expression of your spirit, which is released when you communicate, either through speech or art, dance, or writing. When we communicate, we make a statement about ourselves. Now, this chakra can be strengthened when we express ourselves with truth and integrity, but it can be weakened when we don't speak our truth, when we gossip, when we swear, when we criticize or curse. These things actually weaken this chakra. So in our physical bodies, the throat is a bridge between the heart and the mind. And so we are trying to live our truth in this chakra. And when this chakra is balanced, we offer clear and effective communication. We take responsibility for expressing how we feel and what we want. And so if you believe in your words, then your words will convey that energy and facilitate your ability to share your feelings in an integrous way. Okay, so as you rest back here, I'm going to play the chimes for you. There's one chime for each chakra in the body. And so actually, maybe I'll just give you a little preview first. This one is for the root chakra at the base of your spine. And then the second one is for the solar plexus, the sacral chakra in the center of your pelvis. And that one's for the solar plexus, just above your navel. This is for your heart chakra at the center of your chest. Here's the one for the throat chakra that we're working with this week. And then the third eye, just above your two real eyes, between it. And that's for your crown chakra above your head. So I'll play these for you and just allow the sound to wash over you and receive the sound. I'm going to see if I can get a little better resonance this. Okay, so I'm going to play them again, this time going down, and I want you to just notice how it affects your physical being. For me, when I listen to these and receive the sound vibrations, maybe you've seen before videos where sound vibrations can move sand. And so for me, when I receive these sounds, I can feel my cells kind of reorganize in a less maybe scattered way. And so just see if it has that kind of calming effect on you as well. We'll start from the crown, and also pay attention to if you can feel these sounds resonating at the parts of your body where these chakras are. So this one is above your head. And then your third eye in the center of your forehead. And then your throat chakra in the center of your throat, at your neck. This one's at your heart center. It's your solar plexus. Your sacral chakra in the center of your pelvis. And then your root chakra. Okay, so very carefully come off your blocks. I'm just going to replace this where we've got the Buddha today, I think. Whoops, I'm not attached to my mic. Put it in the background. And thinking of sound too. Okay, so resting back on your back, lying on your back. And you might want to lie, so without the bolsters or blocks lifting you, you might want to lie with your knees bent or your legs straight, whatever feels best for you. What you're going to do is take your 10 fingers and you're going to run them up through your hairline. So I'll just take off this mic so I can demonstrate that. And stretch out the back of your neck. And then lay your head back down on the ground and just slowly roll your head from side to side. So breathe in the center and breathe out and roll your head to the side. And as you do this, just see if you could tuck your shoulders in a little bit more and drop your shoulders away from your ears a little bit more. And then bring your head back to center, and you're going to roll to your side and come up to seated. So on all fours, we'll do cat pose. And in cat pose, you're going to breathe out and round up to your back. And then breathe in and arch your back in the other direction. So breathing out and rounding up through your back. And breathing in and arching the other way. Okay, and then what we're going to do is do lion's breath with this cat pose. So the way that lion's breath works is you inhale And then you exhale, you drop your tongue down to your chin and you turn your eyeballs up towards your third eye here. And you stick out your tongue when you do it and you roar like a lion. So it's inhale and exhale. Okay, so the plan is to not swallow my mic for one, is to do this in cat pose. So what we're going to do is breathe in and round up through your back, and then breathe out into lion's pose. Breathe in, round up through your back. Breathe out lion's breath. And let's do a couple more. And one more. And good job. And then come to a comfortable seated position. So what you may want to do is some maybe down dog or pigeon or lunge pose, something that would allow your legs to stretch out so you could comfortably come into a seated position. So I'm going to do down dog. But you could be doing pigeon or lunge, whatever your body needs right now. My backs and my knees needed to stretch out. Okay, and then find a way to come to a comfortable seated position. I'm going to use my folded up blanket to sit on to lift my hips a little bit to make this more comfortable for myself. Maybe you'll sit up on a couple of pillows or even in a chair. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to work the throat chakra two ways today. One is by, we've already done it two ways actually. One is by stretching all the muscles around the neck, and the other is by sounding. And so right now we're going to stretch the muscles of the neck. So drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And as you have your left ear towards your left shoulder, just pay attention to the range of motion that's available to you there right now. And then come back center and switch sides and slowly lower your right ear towards your right shoulder. And again, just check in and notice the range of motion that is available to you. As you lower your ear towards your shoulder. Okay, and then come back center. So now I'm going to show you this really neat trick. Your ear. So you're going to pull on your ear here and then just massage all along the flap of your ear. Just really give this part of your ear a good massage. So your right ear. Okay, and then what you're going to do now is slowly lower your left ear towards your left shoulder again and just check in and notice if that's a little more range of motion than you had the last time. And what you will probably find is that it is, and the reason for that is that you're massaging the fascial connection. So fascia is like a sheath that goes underneath your skin over your whole body. It helps to hold your body together. And when you massage that, it has because it's one piece, has an effect of loosening up the neck a bit. So let's do that on the left ear as well. Massage out the left earlobe all the way along the left ear flap into all the flaps of the ear and give it a good massage. And then lower your right ear towards your right shoulder and see if you don't have a greater range of motion from that. Okay, and then come back center. Lower your chin to your chest. And slowly lift your head. Turn your head to one side, rotate it like an owl. And then rotate to the other side. And gently roll your head in front. And just notice if you can start to feel this part of your body warming up, your neck and your shoulders, that kind of thing. Okay, and then bring your head back center, and we're going to stretch your legs out again before we come back to sitting position. So again, either down dog or lunge or pigeon. So I'm going to do lunge this time. Stretch out the front of my hip. And then I can get a nice little stretch on the back of my hamstring as well here. And you can switch sides on that too. Just a short stretch for the legs before we come back to a seated position again. Okay, and I'm even going to offer you another sitting position. This is one that can work quite well, is to sit kneeling on a block. It's nice because the hips stay, they're not rotating and splayed open, so it's a little bit more neutral. If insides or outsides of knees are an issue, if flexion of the knees is an issue, then probably the other position is a little better. Remember, you can always sit with your back to a or even sit in a chair, so whatever works best for your body. Okay, So what we're going to do now is make the vowel sounds for each of the chakra centers. And each one resonates in a different part of your body, just like the chakra chimes did. So we're going to make the sound O for the base of your spine, U for your sacral, A for third chakra, A for your heart, E for your throat, M for your third eye, and we're going to sit in silence for the crown chakra. So my plan is right now is that we'll do each one 3 times. And when we come to the crown chakra, we'll just sit in silence and allow that sound to resonate through us. So I'm just going to have a little drink of water before we do this. Let me give you a nice mudra for sitting and sounding. So just place one hand on top of the other. So let's start by making space with breath and a sigh. And remember, we'll sound each one 3 times, and then I'll remind you what's coming next. Starting with O. To U for the center of the pelvis, the sacral chakra. Up to A for the solar plexus. Now A for the heart center. Now E for the throat center. Now, through the third eye, and after this one, we'll sit in silence to receive the practice. And slowly open your eyes and wiggle and stretch out. Okay, so from here we're going to come up to standing. From standing, just roll your shoulders back and down. So anatomically, the throat chakra includes the neck and the shoulders. And I think this speaks a lot to what this chakra center is about, because here we learn to speak with integrity and speak our truth. And so when we take on things that we don't really want to, we say yes to things that we say no to, we do them because we feel like we should. So we shoulder them. Shoulders are the shoulds. And so it's important to be in integrity in what you speak and in what you're willing to take on, what you say yes to, and saying no when you mean no. Okay, from standing, we're going to warm up the neck a little bit more again. So just lower your ear to your shoulder. We're going to do the exact same 4 movements of the neck that we did when we were seated. And then to the other side. And bring your head center and turn your head to the side. And the other side. And then gently roll your head in front. Okay, and then bring your head back center. Right, so we're going to work with going back and forth between shoulder stand and fish pose. And we're going to see how doing shoulder stand and following it with fish pose opens up going back and forth. Okay, so shoulder stand is not for everybody. I'm going to show you several stops along the way. So what I'm going to get you to do is place your mat so that it's perpendicular to the wall. I'm just going to have another drink of water here. And you're going to place your hips right beside the wall and then swing your legs around and up. Okay? So many of you will stay here. And this will be your inversion today. So especially for women when they're menstruating, it's not great to invert the pelvis. So a good idea to stay here if you're menstruating. Another way to do it would be to lie on your back with your knees on a chair like this would be good. Okay? And if you have any neck issues, you might want to just stay here. If you'd like to try shoulder stand, then you're going to bend your knees and place your feet flat on the wall. And just a little bend, not really deep knee flexion, because you're going to press into the wall and roll your spine up off the ground. And when you do that, I want you to walk your elbows underneath you and walk your hands up your back. Most people will find that they're most comfortable with their hands at their pelvis, but depending if you're more flexible in your shoulders than me, you'll be able to walk your elbows underneath you more and your hands up your back a little bit more. So you might stay here. You might take one leg off the wall. And if you can do it without kicking, you can take the other leg off the wall. And again, if your shoulder flexibility is greater, you could bring up your hands up your back more and your elbows in underneath you a little bit more. In shoulder stand, you want to make sure that you have space behind your neck, between the back of your neck and the ground. So if that's not happening, you need to put some blankets underneath your shoulders with your head hanging off the blankets. But if this pose doesn't feel right, this is one of those poses where it's a good idea to work with a teacher on it. Okay, so come out nice and slowly. You're going to roll down through your spine. And just let your body settle here with your legs up the wall for a moment or two. And so we're going to go back and forth between the shoulder stand and fish pose. So you can just bend your knees and roll to your side. And I'm just going to turn around on my mat here. And what you'll do is take your hands underneath you. And you're going to tuck them right underneath your legs. But look how my elbows are going right underneath me and my hands are going down my legs. So you'll tuck your elbows in underneath you as much as you can. And maybe you'll even see here, you can see you're even getting a little bit of a chest opening here. So press into your elbows and lift just your chest off the ground. Your pelvis stays on the ground. And you come on to the top of your head. Okay, then you can tuck your chin, lift your arms out from underneath you, and hug your knees into your chest. Okay, so we're going to slowly go back to shoulder stand. And this has been really cool when we've been doing it in class this week, going back and forth, and seeing how it opens up our inversions for us. So, you're going to come back to the wall, get your hips right up against the wall, and swing your legs around in front. Even my legs at the wall feels better here. So again, you may stay here, or you can bend your knees slightly, press them into the wall, roll up through your spine, walk your elbows underneath you and up your back. And then you can maybe lift one leg or both legs off the wall. So you can probably see just on my shoulder stand how much that has changed by coming back to it after doing fish pose. Okay, so you can stay in this pose for a long time. Just on account of time in the video, we're not going to today, but you could stay here for up to half an hour. So slowly bring your legs back to the wall and lower yourself down. And then just pause here with legs at the wall. Take a moment to breathe. And then we'll go back to fish pose for a second time. So bend your knees, roll to your side, and move slowly here, because when you come up and down, you don't want to get lightheaded. So back to turned around on your mat. And then same thing here, bend your knees, lift your hands, lift your hips and take your elbows underneath you as much as you can. Hands reaching down your legs. Press into your elbows and come on to the top of your head. And just notice how fish pose is different. So for me, that was a lot more fluid and easy this time around. Tuck your chin and just let your elbows out and your arms out, and then bend your knees and draw your knees into your chest. Whew. Okay, so let's do this again. One more time, shoulder stand, one more time, fish pose. So moving slowly again between the positions. This is big, It might not seem like a lot, but I think it's kind of big. So getting your hips right up against the wall and swinging your legs around. Legs at the wall. And again, listen to your own body. It's your very best teacher. You may want to just stay with legs at the wall for the last one, okay? So if you're feeling good and your neck is feeling good, then you can bend your knees, place your feet flat on the wall, roll up through your spine, walk your elbows in underneath you. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you take one leg off the wall. Maybe you take the other leg off the wall. And just notice the difference in your shoulder stand. So I was working towards a more full shoulder stand here, and I can only do that a little bit. It starts to aggravate my neck, so then I come back towards a more half shoulder stand. So do what feels right in your body. And then slowly lower your feet back towards the wall and carefully roll down through your spine. Pause at legs at the wall. And let your body settle. Okay, so it seems we've run out of time for today. So why don't you finish with legs at the wall, and what I'm going to do is play the chakra chimes for you for the time that we have left so that you can receive your practice to finish here. Thank you for joining us for episode 68 of Namaste Yoga. I hope you enjoyed the chakra chimes today. I'll put the website where you can purchase these chimes up on the show notes. And thanks for being with us. Namaste.